Hey guys, so this isn't going to be a glamorous video or anything like that. As some of you may know, I got married last month, and this is my story of the horrendous journey I went through with my photographer. So it all started when I posted on Facebook asking if anyone had any recommendation for photographers around my area. And then I got a few, yes, but I got a private message from this girl, I want to say. So she private messaged me. Let me go get my phone actually. So she private messaged me saying that she's a photographer and asking what my date was, and she's happy to help me out. So the first thing I did was ask her if she had a Facebook page or any work of hers that I could check out, because obviously you want to see your photographer's photos before going ahead and having her as yours as such, because you want to see what her work's like, obviously. Her work on her Facebook page was absolutely amazing. It was very good. I did quite like the photos that she put on there. Obviously, you're going to put your best photos on the page that you are advertising on, or that it's your name, you're putting yourself out there. You're going to have your best quality photos on there, of course you are. So anyway, she sent me some photos. I asked about her pricing. She asked me what my details were like and that we could work around a price that was to my budget, which I thought was very nice of her. She was asking a few questions about like the location, the date and how many guests and everything like that, as you should have. So I told her, and I told her the time that I would like her to cover, like us getting ready and the ceremony. Those were two very big parts that I wanted covered. So she told me a price and we agreed on that, and then basically she told me a very large sum of money, a very large amount of money, and then told me basically I've got this amount just set for me. Do you know what I mean? Like she cut that total price in half and then by less, to give me a very good deal. And I thought, oh my gosh, you're such a lovely person, thank you so much for doing that. I got back to her probably about a week later saying that my fiance and I would like to have her as our photographer. She said she was very grateful that we had chosen her, and I asked where we go from here. We agreed on a set price, and so we went straight into a deposit, obviously, to book her in as such and definitely have her. So we paid a deposit and everything went downhill from there. Her communication, I don't even think she knows the word communication, honestly. It wasn't there. She ignored my messages even though she was online. She ignored my texts, and she ended up ignoring my phone calls. She told me that she would email me the contract. She told me that she would call me over the phone one night. That never happened. So I texted her the next morning. I said, look, I didn't receive an email, I didn't receive a phone call, what's going on? And of course she just comes up with excuses because that's her middle name. I asked about a contract and she sent through her last year's contract. I asked for an updated one. My MC asked for an updated one. She never gave us one. So she said that everything is suited to that contract except for the amount of deposit that we paid. So that was fine, that was alright. In the contract it says that she would meet up with us prior to the wedding, get to know us, yada yada yada, all this other bullshit. Nothing happened. She didn't meet up with us. If I could do it all over again, I would. So we'll fast forward to when she arrived at my wedding. Well, we were getting ready at the hairdressers, and this is the first time that I met her. She was late, a wee bit late. I can't exactly remember how long. It wasn't too long, but she was late, and her excuse was that she had a flat tire and she had to bring another car or something. Doesn't really matter. So anyway, when she got to the hairdressers, she went straight into taking photos. Great, obviously, that's what she's there for. Okay, she wasn't dressed professionally at all. It's just something else that I noticed, something else everyone else noticed, because they're coming forward to me now, how they thought that she was, and the way that she dressed and yada yada. So anyway, she was sat there in the room while we were getting our makeup done, and I mean literally sat there on her ass doing nothing. She even mentioned about that she was just sitting there doing nothing, and I said to her, go up to the guys' place to get photos of them getting ready. I did have another photographer, a friend of mine who's just learning, and she wanted the experience. I thought that's great. I mentioned this to my photographer. I said that she's up there taking photos, blah blah blah, but I'm paying you to do this. I would appreciate you obviously going up there and taking professional photos of the guys getting ready. They had the rings and everything themselves. I didn't have them. So she went up there for 5 minutes. She was up there for 5 minutes, honestly. She came back and she told all of us, the bridesmaids and the ladies that were doing the makeup, she told us all that the photographer that was up there, my friend, was very rude to her. She basically pushed my photographer out the door, saying that she's got this and all of that, she doesn't need to be there. So she came back to the hairdressers and just sat there. I was like, We found out that that was not the case at all. My friend of mine who was doing the photography is an absolute amazing, lovely lady. She would never, ever talk to someone like that. And my whole family, like my husband's side of the family, they were all up there. They knew exactly what happened, and that's not what happened. So she just blatantly just lied about that. But it pisses me off, because I paid her to do this. This isn't a day that we can get back. We can't get back those memories. Well, we can, you know, they're always going to be here, but when I got the photos, there was probably 4 or 5 photos of my husband and his groomsmen outside, and they're not even good. I'm going to be very honest with you. I think they're bloody crap. I could do better photos than that. My 8-year-old nephew can do better photos than anything that she produced. But anyway, so she came back to the hairdressers and basically was just waiting for me to do my makeup now, because my bridesmaids went first, yada yada yada. So we moved on to where I was getting ready, and it felt very, very rushed. It did. Makeup and hair took longer than I thought. I should have left a lot more time. I know that now. So she got photos of me putting on my dress. I suppose it was not a good photo at all. I might insert it here so you can see. My facial expression is bloody awful. My tits hanging out. I mean, she told me on the phone that she took 2,000 photos, and this is the one she gave me of me putting on my dress, really? So she got a few shots of my bridesmaids and my dress and their dresses and my shoes and perfume. Well, one of my shoes and perfume. Well, 2 actually, sorry. So she left after I got dressed. I got dressed so she could take photos, and then she left because she had to go to the reception to take photos of the guests and everyone, which was obviously what you do. Okay, skip forward to when we arrived, myself and my bridesmaids. Going back from the photos I received, because when I got to my wedding, I wasn't thinking about my photographer taking my photo, like, oh, I gotta look like this, I gotta, you know what I mean? Like, no, it was completely all a blur. Obviously it was my wedding day. The ceremony photos, okay, so my dad and I walking in, absolutely crap. I'm sorry, but they're absolutely crap. I got photos from a friend who took a photo of my dad and I coming in to the ceremony, and on her phone is better than what my photographer produced. And the whole ceremony photos are so blurry and edited so shit, you can't see a thing. I will insert some up here. To me, this isn't what a professional photographer should take, especially of a wedding day, something so special in a day that you cannot get back. So after the ceremony finished, we all walked outside and we were getting not group shots first, we were getting photos of people coming up to me, hugging me, and my husband obviously congratulating us. Those photos are fine, they're okay. And then we moved on to group shots under this really nice tree right where we got married. They have not been edited at all. At all. And I mean, I'm not going to put a photo up because it's like my whole family and whatever, it's quite personal, but no, actually let me go back. So all these little photos that she took of like my bridesmaids and me with other people and even my husband with my family, they are blurry AF to the point where I'm not even going to bother getting them printed out. I have always wanted my wedding photos printed out on canvases and put around my house because that's the most special day of my life, and I can't do that. I can't do that because the quality is absolutely shit. I will say I did get a handful of really beautiful photos that I personally absolutely love. I think that the way she edited these in the sunlight was absolutely beautiful, but to have a handful of photos that I'm happy with out of 400 that she chose from 2,000 apparently is not good enough at all. I'm not happy with that at all. Her attitude at my wedding, she was swearing so much. The F word, she was swearing so much. My husband's name is quite different. It's quite unique. His name's Ori, but she couldn't remember it, which is okay. But the way she'd been about it, she actually said, I'm just going to call you a different name. Like, I know some people might be like, oh, she was just kidding, like, she was just like lightening up the mood. No, she was swearing the whole time. And to my MC, her attitude towards my MC, and she tells me now that she felt very uncomfortable at my wedding because of the way that my MC greeted her. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? She did not greet you in a unreasonable, rude manner at all. She wouldn't do that. She's not that type of person. But they ended up butting heads like freaking no other. And of course you're not going to sit there and let my photographer talk to you like that. Like, for example, my MC wanted us to take a photo on the main road with the sunset in the background, and I absolutely love that. And my photographer took the piss out of her because there was a sign in the background, and I was like, well, I don't really mind having a sign in the background, you know, it's the country or whatever, like, I don't care. And so anyway, they had a wee little argument about that, and it made my mood go down by so much, you know what I mean? But anyway, looking back on the photos that she gave me, our wedding cake, for example, has a bottle, not even a bottle, sorry, has a bloody pack of fizzy drinks in the background. If she moved the drinks, moved the table around, and got a freaking better photo, job done. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is her job. I shouldn't be thinking up these ideas. I shouldn't be like, you should have done this, that, and that, this, and the other. Like, this is your job. You should have known to do this. So, anyway, when that was all done, obviously, in the contract, it says I get my preview photo 2 days after the wedding. It was 5 weeks after the wedding, and that was because I kept asking about it. And our actual wedding photos were meant to be 14 to 21 days after the wedding. They were 6 weeks after the wedding. Let me tell you a little story. She told me she sent the photos on a Friday. And obviously they came with a tracking number. So I asked her for the tracking number. And I asked her. And I asked her and I asked her. And I got no response. Ignoring me. 100% ignoring me. And it ended up with me going to see a lawyer because this indicated to me that she didn't see my photos. This indicated to me that she's lied about something. She's hiding something. Something didn't go right and she's holding them back for some reason. If she wasn't happy with the way that they were edited, I wouldn't have cared that they took 2 weeks longer. I wouldn't have cared if they took a month longer. As long as she told me. As long as she kept up communication and told me what was going on. And in a nice manner. Because she's not a nice person, I might add. But she didn't. A week later, 7 days later, on, when was it? Thursday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 7 days. 7 days later, a week friggin' later, she must have got sick of my messages and decided to screenshot the package that she was sending in the mail with the tracking number. The funny thing is, it says overnight delivery and it was sent on the 30th. And I messaged her and I was like, but how can this be right when you sent them on Friday and it says overnight delivery? This is a week friggin' later. And she's like, oh, let me tell you exactly what she said. She said, no, I'm sending it now. Thank you for your patience. You should have them tomorrow. And the funny thing is, the day before she actually sent them, she did tell me, because I ended up ringing her because I was friggin' sick of her ignoring me. She has been ignoring my calls, mind you, but this time she picked up. I rang her and I asked for my tracking number. She said, yes, I will give it to you within an hour. That was 11:30 on Wednesday the 29th. I didn't hear a word back. Not that day. The next day, I messaged her asking if I could have the tracking number, please. And a few hours later, that's when she sent the photo of the parcel. And I said to her, you know, you told me the day before that you've already sent them and you'll give me the tracking number. But you knew damn well you didn't even send them yet. And so obviously you didn't have a tracking number because they were still in your drawer, apparently, according to you, sitting in my drawer. I never had the time to put them in the post until now. Wow, why the friggin' hell didn't you tell me that? Seriously. And then she was saying that she gave me a good deal, so you have to understand that I worked what I could fit into my life. Well, no, excuse me, you put on this work. You asked me if you could be my photographer. I know obviously you have a life, you have a job, blah blah, but I paid you to do this. And I just don't understand. I just have to say, you have absolutely no idea how much stress I've been under, because I felt like I was being naggy, messaging her a few times a week. I thought I was being naggy, messaging her, and I messaged her photography page, I texted her, I rang her. The sad thing is, I thought I was in the wrong. Because I felt, oh, maybe I'm being too pushy, maybe I'm doing this, doing that, and all this time I was getting no response from her. When I went on my honeymoon, it was always, it sounds so stupid, it was always in the back of my mind about basically her lack of communication broke me down, because I didn't want to keep messaging her and being a pain in the ass, do you know what I mean? But my lawyer actually told me that's what I should be doing, so now I don't feel fucking bad for it. And now I feel, when he told me that, I was so pushy and I felt so good about it, and I finally got a response because of, I don't want to say nagging her, but getting on her case, because God. So anyway, fast forward to now, when I got the photos, obviously I wasn't very happy. I rang her, I don't know, 4 or 5 times during the day / night after I got my photos, and she didn't answer. And it was probably around, I don't know, I want to say 6 o'clock or something, I don't know, yesterday. So it was Friday night, so I rang her and she hung up on me, and I rang her again. No, sorry, I rang her, she hung up on me, and then I got a text from her saying, what's up, or what's the matter, or whatever. So I rang her again because I wanted to obviously speak on the phone, not text her. But she hung up on me again and proceeded to tell me that she couldn't talk on the phone that night, but wanted to text, like saying, what's the matter, you know, how can I help you? So I was like, this isn't really something I want to text about. I want to talk to you on the phone. She's like, alright, we'll talk tomorrow, whatever. She didn't even bother ringing me in the morning. This morning on Saturday, I had to again proceed to try and make contact with her. So last night actually on my Facebook I decided to put my experience out there. Oh my gosh. I have never had her try to communicate to me as much as she did after I done that. Like the amount of texts she got saying, what's the matter, what's up. It was just freaking... But I didn't want to talk over text. I wanted to talk on the phone and tell her exactly how I felt about the photos and how we could resolve it and all this. But so the end result is she told me that she's going to have the raw copy of photos and she's going to edit them all again, properly this time, hopefully. And she's going to have them to me by a week. So she actually told me on the phone next Thursday or Friday. And I told her to message me this so I had this in writing. Otherwise she could be like, oh, I didn't say that, blah, 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 whatever. In the message it says I would try and get them done within a week. But she did tell me on the phone she will have them to me Thursday or Friday. We'll see. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, God, I could go on for ages about how she's pissed me around. She's messed with my emotions. She's brought me down. She's made me feel so stressed. It's not what a bride wants after a wedding. That's not how I want to look back and remember this time of my life. But unfortunately, it's what happened, and I can't change that now. I did, however, have someone come forward and get in contact with me who also had this girl as her photographer, and she told me her experience, and if I didn't know any better, I would say that she knew exactly what happened to me and just wrote it down. I'm happy to know that it's not just me. It is so sad and unfortunate that it has happened to someone else as well, but at least I know that it's not me. Because I tend to feel like, I don't know what I feel. Don't know. I just can't wait for it all to be over. Let's just say that. So if you guys know me personally and have any questions about it or whatever, I mean, so many people have come forward to me and said that they will do a free photo shoot and they will redo all my editing, my photos, everything. They'll do it all for free for me. And I'm so grateful. There's so much lovely people in the world and I'm so grateful. I thank you guys so much for being so sweet. I mean, these are complete strangers, people that don't know me from a bar of soap, and there is still some good left in the world, I have to say. Thank you all so much for all your lovely comments and your advice and everything. I really do appreciate it. You're so sweet. That's what's keeping my chin up right now, is having all the love towards me and everyone backing me, so I know that I'm not being overreactive and all the rest of it. So if you would like to know the outcome of this, if you would like to know whether I actually got my photos within a week, whether they were edited properly this time, whether I got my raw photos, whatever the jits is, whatever communication I have with her throughout this next week, if any, probably not. If you want to know what's going down or what's happened, leave a comment down below and I will do another video if a lot of people would like to see the outcome of this. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I was doing a baking video and I still am, but I filmed it all and I edited it and I was like, I don't like how this turned out. I'm not happy with it. So I'm going to redo it. And that just actually reminds me of this photography work. She knew it wasn't good. I mean, obviously you can't redo a wedding day as such, but the editing, if you don't like it, if you don't think it's that good or whatever, friggin' redo it. I mean, obviously I don't know if she thinks this was good. It wasn't good. But anyway, so thank you guys so much for watching and you'll see me in my next video. Bye.